Hey folks, welcome to this presentation. I'm the host of the dotnet Conf Student Zone, but doesn't mean I cannot present anything, right? It's a big pleasure to have you here to learn about the CLI. But I'm not alone. I'm with a friend. Hey, Hamna.
Hi Pablo, how are you doing?
I'm doing incredibly well. Thank you so much for being here. And wow, I cannot wait to show you this. We're gonna do this presentation about CLI being fun, which is a thing that I know a lot of students are scared about because, oh no, the command prompt, it's a new thing, right? Especially when we are starting. Because when we use computers, usually we do a lot of UI, right? Everything is clickable, everything is nice. But then you have to deal with this new reality. Hamna, do you had to face some hurdles before learning to use the command prompt?
Um, no,
No, you learned right away, right?
yes.
You see, folks, that's why she's a student ambassador. She's amazing. So, right here, we have this presentation about the CLI equals fun, which is how to learn the CLI the easy way. So, who are we? I am Pablo Lopes. I am a cloud advocate at Microsoft. I deal with .NET and AI, product teams. I do lots of my stuff. A lot of some documentations even read, right? So it's an incredible way to learn much more about things, and I'm so happy to be part of this community. And Hamna, you go.
Okay, so thank you, Pablo. So I'm Hamna Khalil, and I'm a Gold Microsoft Learner Ambassador from Pakistan, and I have been serving this Microsoft student community for the last 2 years. And today I'm here with Pablo to discuss about .NET 10 release. So, yep, Pablo.
Yeah, so we're gonna use here net 9, but you're gonna use net 10. Now what a new SDK, not net 10 is incredibly fast, incredibly strong. But the CLI works anywhere, everywhere, easy and fast. But before we go, let's look what we're gonna take a look here. So we have here the CLI, the .NET CLI, why to learn the CLI, well, to get started, and then the multiple things running and building, live updates, user secrets, and much, much more. So I want you to imagine this. You'll get tired. Like you're a student, you were applying for multiple jobs, you did multiple interviews, you did a lot of things, and congratulations, you're an intern. Now you're going to join your favorite company that you were doing for a long time. But we have an issue here. And you may ask, what is the issue? The things we do in university, in college, are usually so different than we do in work that we have a big shock. That gives us that girl that joined that big company. So 9 a.m. is your first day. You are excited to do things now, work your first time doing amazing stuff. Then 9:13, you have your first group meeting, right? The manager is going to introduce you to the team. You're gonna be there, and they want to know more about you. They want to understand what you're doing and what you built, what you're doing, what you plan with this internship, right? They are really excited to you as well, and yeah, I'm so excited to join that. But then you have an issue. They say something like, "Okay, we want you to give you a task, and this task will be about to build the program. It's just a simple command prompt. You don't need to worry about it. It's fine. It should be chill. Be very easy and quick. Well, what is a build server? And then they talk. Then you ask for a teammate about this a build thing. What does a build command mean? And then he tries to explain you. Oh, it's you know that we are a Linux shop, right? They're gonna say something like it. They say, What do you mean about Linux shop? Oh, we don't have any of the classic things here. You're gonna build on our machine on a different machine. Is a VM. You're gonna have no nothing. It's just to be the CLI. Okay, now you use Visual Studio for a long time, Visual Studio community. You did a lot of things with Visual Studio Code a little bit, but never did with .NET. You just did .NET with Visual Studio. But no, there is no way. You are lost because you have to deal with these command things and you never dealt with them. And then now you have to build this on a server thing which has commands on it and you have no clue. Oh no, what do you do, right? So then you need to have this command line, right? You need somewhere to interface with that. So you need to go with .NET. Oh, no, Hamna.
No, no, I'm not want to say anything. Just go on.
Oh, gotcha. Let's go with the CLI now. Let's see what we have here on this amazing .NET CLI. So, what is this .NET CLI that I'm talking about, right? CLI means command line interface, right? It's the way that you can interact with something through the command line itself. So, you're going to do this with .NET development, right? So, if I'm doing development of that, I probably installed something on my computer. And you did. And if you're doing that, you're installing the SDK, right? You're doing installation and then you're gonna use by the SDK. With the CLI, you can do everything that requires for a .NET developer. You can create, build, run, manage. You can install packages in the .NET ecosystem. So everything on the .NET that you need to do, you can do it right away with the CLI. It works on Windows, macOS, and Linux, and provides every foundations that we need for .NET. So any tool that you see that uses .NET, so imagine that you use Visual Studio or using third-party tools. Usually they use a lot of the tooling on .NET, on this CLI, on those CLI commands and the interface of it. Okay, but let's learn it. So you may ask, okay, why you need to learn this, right? And the thing is, you're gonna probably want to become a professional. So we need to understand what is actually happening, right? So imagine that you run .NET Run. What does it do? How it works? What is the process that I need to go from like code to program, right? So understanding the steps can help you debug issues, to understand what is going on with that, and deliver great results. Work anywhere from any machine. So you can just work from like VMs, you can interface everywhere. So that's the power of the terminal, right? It makes much easier to be local, remote, anywhere, any machine you can run .NET. Every job mentions it. So every job that requires .NET usually requires some knowledge on the command line interface. So a lot of jobs actually say, "Hey, it's good that you have some domain knowledge on this," and just not click on the UI itself, but understand what is going deep behind it. And it actually, is a little bit of a requirement to understand a little bit of the CLI. And if you want to use Visual Studio Code, you have to learn the CLI because a lot of the commands that we do are mostly CLI based on Visual Studio Code. So truly recommend you to learn it, especially if you don't want to use Visual Studio, want to use something more, light and fast. And the good part is that you can automate a lot of things. You can automate functions to auto rebuild. You can create tools. You can do cron jobs with it. You can do so many things that actually helps you to automate, create, transform those tools and help when anything breaks. So imagine that you're, responsible for a CI pipeline, a continuous integration pipeline in your new company. Learning this makes it much easier to test and deliver quality results with the general product and everything you need. So, what is the timeline of a dev means with that? You start clicking buttons on Visual Studio, then you understand what these buttons do, then you write .NET automation scripts, and then you go and help debug pipelines on your job. But today is the day that you start this journey. Let's get started then. I'm talking way too much. I'm just showing things, I'm showing pretty slides, but it doesn't mean that it works like that. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do a very basic console app. So we're gonna do a console app, we're gonna edit in text editors, we're gonna not use zero autocomplete. And people are asking, oh, you can use AI. Absolutely. AI is an incredible way to be quicker and faster. But AI doesn't replace human knowledge because remember, it's a co-pilot. No, it's not your pilot. It means that sure, agentic code is amazing, but remember, we are responsible for your code, which means that it's good for you to have knowledge of it and write a little. I always recommend to folks to write a little bit with text editors as well because it takes out a lot and you can just focus on that. You're gonna explore the projecting structure, and I'm gonna show you one thing. Code is just a bunch of text files, which people sometimes do not believe because they have like different types, like C or this or that. But I gonna give you reminders what really those files are. Let's get started. Let me open here my amazing, incredible, my home. I love when this books out like this. Thank you. So let me go here to the correct folder. Not this one, this one. I had this open and I closed. I don't know why. That's fine. It happens. There you go. So you can see this is my folder. I have my projects folder. And man, oh my God, is that empty, right? I have nothing on that. So I need a way to do something with it. So I gonna here open in terminal. This is in Portuguese. And then I have this amazing thing. And if you do like ls, nothing, zero, nothing. I have zero things here, nothing. So I need to do .NET. Let's see if this is installed. And you can see, yes, we have options here. We can get like .NET help dash H. And you can see here that I have options on the SDK, some commands, etc. But I'm gonna do a very basic hello world, right? Because if you are learning anything about it, you need to do a hello world. So let's do .NET Neo, which has templates, and you can choose templates, whatever templates you want. They have it here easily. So .NET Neo console. I'm gonna choose this type of project. It's a console, which means it'll be a very simple project. Then this thing here, this flag, N, which means the name of it. And I'm gonna call this hello world. Then let's run. And then you see they create a new folder and then boom. They call this restore. Then you can you can go to folder to folder. You can go CD, change directory, and let's go to hello world. Then list. And then we have those things here. From here, I prefer to us to go to a more UI based thing because it becomes much easier to show you. So we have those three things here. We have hello world dot cs proj, this cs, which is program.cs, and have this obj thing here. Let's evaluate what those things are. So let's go with my notepad. Yes, I'm gonna use, and you can see in Portuguese, so it says blocos de notas. But I'm gonna go here to my notepad
Okay.
and let's go here to my files. So you can see right here, I have open and it says here text documents, txt. But here's the thing about coding. People think that coding is this new crazy thing that you need to do things and be crazy and oh my god, those files are just text ones, but they have those types to make easy to recognize which program I open with this with, right? But if I open here like program.cs, I have this. I have the same thing that Visual Studio has, the Visual Studio Code has, which is it opens and recognizes, say, hey, console line, right line, reload world. And I can even open here more files. So let me open, and then I'm gonna pick here all types, the CS proj. And I want you to see this. Folks, this is just XML. That's it. This is just saying what it's trying to do. So I don't worry, I'm not explain deeply what how it works, but I want you to understand that it goes and changes. So here we're gonna I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna output an exe. I'm gonna compile this to this format. And here I'm using net9. Okay, this looks good. But let's try something new, right? So, okay, it seems that it's working. I have those crazy things here, but I don't know if this works, right? I did not just generate a bunch of crazy things. So, what can I do here? I can go .NET, right? Then I can have .NET build. It is compiling now and done. So if you do .NET Run, for example, if you like a .NET Run, what does actually it does differently, right? Because if I do .NET Run here, hello world. And what is the difference between this and that? So when you run something, you are building, compiling, and running. But if I just build, I just generate both the DLL and the exe files, basically. That, of course, it's just not that, but these are parts of it. And what is the difference between those, right? So the DLL is basically how I access like libraries. If I gonna put a library here, it's going to generate DLL. But imagine that I'm trying to access something from this my program. Then I'm gonna need to put this right there. But DXC is just an executable. I can run right away. I cannot worry about it. I don't need to put that in another program. No. And to show you that, I'm gonna do this. I'm going to cd to bin, great. Then I'm gonna have debug. Then I'm gonna have net9. And then I ls, you can see that I have this. Those things right there. So we don't need to know about each one, like even though I explained a little bit, but I can just go hello world and exe. And if I run it, boom, it just runs hello world. It's the same thing, right? But you see, we have differences in that. And you can see you have this. There's a debugging point. This is useful to understand, like, if I'm putting any stops, if I have any issues, it helps me debug. So those three are very important, but you can see I just run this and then hello world. Okay, it's in the program, right? There's nothing special, but just to show that it works as usual in understanding like these small bibs and bobs of .NET. Let's go back here to the slides and show you both .NET Build and .NET Run. Oh, it's just saying .NET Build and Run. Because then, okay, we did hello world, right? I mean, we solved that guy's problem, right? The guy from not exactly. Because imagine then I try to build something and I get a package missing. And I say, what? What? Okay. So I need to debug an issue now. And I need to do it fast. What do you do? So you can go here with live updates and packages with .NET. So what does live updates means? If you know, folks, is the hot reload, right? Is the way that it goes boom and it go reloads every time it detects changes and anything that is missing, right? So it helps us to monitor files for changes. It automatically rebuilds and reruns. It has a very fast feedback loop and has a very better developer experience, right? Because then you can iterate faster, you can know if everything is working, and it monitors for you instead of like us doing that every single time. Imagine that you do a change and then have to .NET build, .NET run, .NET build, .NET run, .NET run, .NET run. Run does build as well. But if you do that a bunch of times, right, you don't need to do this. It helps you a lot. So let's do a modification with this. We're gonna now put a watch. Will be .NET watch run. Let's go back to our incredible CLI and my command prompt line here. Let's open here my Explorer and do this. Sounds good. So now we are back on here and let's do this. dotnet, watch, run. Okay, so now you see this hot reload started. For piece of edits, please do this. So here it's saying right here that I build the project the first time, and then I build it. And then it puts here the hello world and an exit, right? Because then we finish the execution. And then before it's doing anything again, it waits for something to restart or reset or anything like it, right? So because of it, we can just do a small change. So, I'm gonna say today something about this. So you can even see here on .NET right now is that we now don't we it's not necessary for you to do all that program um, classes, main functions, nothing. You can run it like a very simple, easy way to run. Just write the things you want and then just press run. So our sequential, we have nothing other than console line right line. Let's add a new one. So let's go console right line and let's test a library. So I'm gonna give this and let's do hello .NET Conf. The the time is and then let's open here this curly bracelets, which allows us to put variables very easily. And then let's put a date time now. Closing the bracelets, exclamation mark. Then let's close here our string. Let's close here our parameter, and let's end line. That's actually a very good way to think about anything. So you have here a thing you're writing, then you have like the parameter you're passing to this, and then you're finishing your line. So that's actually a very nice way to think about things. Then we're gonna just Control S to save, and let's look on our terminal here. So I detected that it changed, right? So I'm building again. So build and do anything. By the way, Hamna, do you have any comments on that?
I think it's very easy. Whatever you're doing, it's very easy to follow, even for a beginner who don't know much about these things. So it's very easy peasy.
You know, it is a very nice way, right, to do things. It just goes and does a lot of things for you. It's really nice. Oh, folks, so sorry. I forgot to scroll down. That's why, well, I think, oh, it's this good. It's taking a while. No, it was fast. It's just that I forgot to scroll down. My fault. At least I recorded, right? We are recording actually demos that we're doing. So here you can say hello world and hello.netconf. Hello. The time is this. This is the date. This is the time. So you can see here we're recording like 14 days before .NET comes to the zone. And it's done. So it's incredible what it does, right? We can do this easily and very fast.
Yep.
And okay, let's quit watch mode. I don't want to be watched anymore. Stop watching my files. Fine, thank you. So wow, that was fun. But now I know how to change the files and do the hot reload. The thing is, I need to debug. We're missing files. How does that work? So here we have NuGet. And if you don't know what NuGet is, of course, I know a lot of you folks do because you folks are very smart and awesome. But NuGet, it is the fast way to create .NET apps. It is our package manager for everything on .NET. And even if you click here on packages, and it does a lot of things right here. We have here the Newton soft, but they're gonna use the system tax JSON this time. This one, that's one they're gonna use. But you can see that we have multiple things here. We have here all the package dependencies, .NET tools, templates, and even for the AI savvy, MCP servers. Exactly. NuGet has MCP servers as well to make it easy to do MCP servers and connect everywhere with AI. But of course, we are focusing here on very, you're starting your journey with the CLI. So we have this, right? Okay, so I find a problem now. I need to add. I cannot use the NuGet packet manager from Visual Studio. How I do that? So then you're gonna Okay, let's go with this system text JSON. And you can see here, there you go. You just do copy and paste this. So .NET and package your package. And that's it. Of course, I'm gonna not use the pre-release version. I'm gonna use the current release version, but this version is actually really good. But let's go back to our program. Well, let's go back to our slides just to show you in a bigger way the command. So this is what you're gonna do. So you're gonna do not that add package and the package name. No. By the way, be careful with the package name. Trust that you copying the correct one and put inside of the thing you want to do, you want to build, etc. So that's the way you're gonna do that. So let's go and take a look on our packages. Right here, we are back again to this. Hello. So what we're doing here, we need to install here now a JSON thing, right? We need to do that. So let's do this .NET and the package. Oh, no, not of that. Add package, and then let's add system dot text dot JSON. Enter. So then I will install and do this. So what this is doing, right? We are getting everything from like NuGet. We are basically downloading it and putting into our project. And it verifies automatically for us if everything is compatible and then adds to our file. And if we go here to the CS proj, hello, we have this new thing here. This is an item group, and the item group here is actually saying item groups can refer to multiple things, but in this case, we are doing a package reference to include in our builds this thing here, which is our text JSON and with this version. Okay, so how I make use of a package? I mean, it is very classic, it's the same as our languages, right? So you can use from, etc., but you're gonna just do using. Very simple, very classic. Then you're gonna do system of text.json and line. And then we're gonna create a new person. So let's do for person. Hamna, do you want to tell me what person you want to create?
Um, like mm, Bruno.
Bruno. Let's do Bruno. Bruno is a speaker that you probably is going to be both in .NET Conf and .NET Conf Citizen. He is our one of biggest AI specialists we have on our group, and it's so amazing. So let's do Bruno. So Bruno Capuano. So doing Bruno, let's do the role then. Bruno is a principal. He is so fancy. Principal cloud advocate. And then what conference he is presenting? Of course, he is presenting in .NET Conf. In NetConf student zone. Okay, so remember what we did. We close here this parameters, so now we need to close this thing here, and then I need to end line. All right, folks, we did it. We wrote it. But now I want to serialize this. I want to like pick this and transform it this out in string. How we do this? Then we're gonna use all the functions of text.json, which is this. You're gonna do string JSON equals to JSON serializer dot serialize. I hope I wrote that correctly. First, my incredible Bruno, variable past and line. Then console right line. And then again, just pass here the variable. That's it. Okay, now it's not hello world anymore. It's just like, let's serialize Bruno. We got Bruno's information. Let's now choose serialize it. So .NET run. If I get an error here, it's going to point me right away. But it did not. It just gave Bruno Capuano. Wow, Bruno is so fancy, man. Principal Cloud Advocate. Wow. So That's great. But imagine that I want to know the list of files. Like I want to know the list of the packages that we have here. So if you have any issues of the packages and anything that you may have, you need to take a look and check this out. So what we do here is just run this very simple command, which is a .NET list package. And you're gonna take it and say, hey, hello, this is the package that you have. And you can see how amazing this is, right? If you have some issues on some that you have here the request and the resolved, and then people ask why this happens, because sometimes it needs to downgrade to a resolve package for conflicts, etc. So that's a very nice thing to have in your bucket book, right? You never know when you have some necessities. Hey, Hamna, do you love to put Bruno here, like our amazing Bruno Capuano, on this presentation?
Yeah, his name just randomly came in my mind, so I just call her Rudo.
Yeah, gotcha. Love you, Bruno. Let's go now with this. Now we need to know about our user secrets. So here's the thing. You're in a big company now, serious business. And you cannot just put your API keys on code. They said, please do not hard code secrets. And you don't get it. Say, what do you mean? Like, what does hard code secrets means? You cannot put the API keys on your code. You never should do that. You need to do a user secret to your server. And you're asking, how does that work? And let's see a little bit the good thing about user secrets is that that allows you to put like tiny secret things like imagine you have API keys, credentials, etc. You need to place somewhere secure, right? And it's very important for security is a capability to know to have delivered good not only good results but to maintain the admin safe, to not leak keys. Secrets leak usually lead to big problems. Like the minimum of them usually is just someone finding that you have an API key and spending like resources from the company from cloud providers, etc. But the worst of it is, you know, sometimes there's even identity theft. So be very careful with that. So usually is going to lead to those big problems. And it is so easy to add that it helps you if you're developing the experience. It's nicer, it's fast, it's so easy that you don't need to worry about it. You just put some lines on the CLI and it's done. So let's take a look on .NET user secrets. Let's go back here to our amazing PowerShell with our amazing files and our amazing Notepad. So right now, I need to do a user secret for this project. So imagine that I need to put a super API key for .NET Conf. .NET Conf needs a very special API key. So right away, what we need to do is initialize that. We need to initialize something for it where to point, right? Because I need to sort this anywhere somewhere, right? So let's go with .NET right now. And then let's go with user secrets in it. Then it's going to create this ID for this project. So it is putting somewhere safe on my computer to it access only from this. And if you see the CS proj, look who's here. The user secrets ID. It is right there. So that is the amazing thing about it, right? So you see that the CLI is smart, it puts and changes things in the CS proj in our configuration files. So let's go back here. Then, okay, I need to put this API key from here. How can I do that? It's very simple. You're gonna just do .NET, user secrets. Then I can just do -H as well. So it shows me a lot of the things I can do. I can clear all my application secrets. I can init, I can list, I can remove, and I can set. Okay, so I can remove. Imagine that I typed wrong. Oh no, I added that wrong. Don't worry, you can just remove it and put it again. You can clear if you think it's not useful anymore, and you can list them to see which ones you set. Okay, that sounds good. I need to set something. So let's go with .NET, use a secret. And with that, I need to put the super API key. That's how we title that. So super API key. Then here we have the value. So what do we put, Hamna? I'm gonna put .NET Conf, and you choose something to put here.
Okay, so um, I have to choose some number.
You can do whatever you want. Like, what do you want to put here? You can put whatever thing.
A student.
Is student. So .NET Conf student. So that's our credential. That's very secret. This cannot leak. So boom, and then congratulations, we already have it. Let's take a look if it's good. So let's go to .NET, user secrets, list. Boom. You can see right here that we have our API key ready. So now with that, I need a way to access that, right? Because that's the thing. Not that this program doesn't know how to access that. It just knows that they have a setup, but how can I do that? So I need to add a new package. So .NET and package Microsoft extensions configuration user secrets. And well, it's so big, right? It's because it's usually dealt by, any ID that you use. You can set up by the menus, etc. But here we can just do this because we are just having our text and a dream. We are just using notepad and a dream. So, but of that, it allows us even from here to access it very quickly and easy. So let's do that package. And then boom, it is installed. So when you can even see that, hello, look who's here. So now we can access that. So with that, let's install some secrets. It's very important us to take care of it. So let's use our new Microsoft extend extensions configuration and line. So then I need to create like this configuration to access that. So I'm going to write it and then I'm going to explain to you because it's much easier. Configuration builder. Builder is correct here. And thing. Then the parameter be add user secret. This scope his program. Print this no variable dot build. After build, get the parameter. So okay, this may sound like what you're doing here, right? So what I'm doing is basically I'm creating this configuration builder, which when we build, we can add this user secrets to the program, then we can read from here, and then we inject all this here. On when we are doing this on time, it already knows where to search, and how it knows how to search right here because of this ID here. So okay, it's probably here, and then it injects on this variable. So now it's super secure and we can have now a nice way to do this. So I have this var person, which is amazing. But let's do here a string super API, right? Because it's what API is. And let's get from this config thing here that we did. And let's add our title. Well, let me remember what the name I gave it. No, 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 no. It's yes, it's a super API key. Super super mega power API key. Finish this. So now we injected this. Let's just double check here. Sometimes I want to double check. Super API key. Yeah. So we have here our super API key, and let's get this string. Let's put a name. I know a name, Bruno. So let's pick Bruno. That I Bruno, is a true professional, right? So let's do person and then dot name. I'm trying it up. There we go. Find it. So now let's do this. So we have this. Let's go console right line. With this, we can just do this thing here, and then boom. Uh, the speaker, and then let's add here this curly braces name has the password, has the API key off, and then I can just pick here as well. And then let's go to super API. Close this, then close this. Okay, and let's write an important line here. Right line, security is important, folks. Yay. So that's what we're doing right now, right? So I'm getting here the name from Bruno right here, and then my super API key. Let's test if this works out. So now it should be a very simple .NET run. You can see here that is no saying, hey, this is you need to take care of the verification of this, right? Because I'm just getting something and I don't know what I'm getting. It can be anything. That is what the warning says. But don't worry, I know this is an API key. So speaker Bruno Capano has the API key of .NET. Let's do it. Security is important. And I agree with you, Parshell. I truly agree with you. So let's go back here to our presentation. And Hamna, do you have any questions? Anything we can want to talk about?
Okay, so is there any more ways we can, hide user content or something?
Um, where do we hide? Where do we hide all the variables? You mean?
Yep.
Okay, so that's an amazing question. So people ask, where do you hide all those variables, right? So it depends on where your operating system is using. So we use on Microsoft this. We use like app data, right? So Windows use app data. So let me get here to my app data folder right here. So let me open this folder, open new. Don't leak anything. Thank you. My Explorer is a little bit slow because I'm doing a lot of things at once. And Explorer, like my Explorer, likes to die when this happens, but that's fine. App data, use the secrets, and you can see right here, Hamna, this. Ta-da! There are your user secrets, ladies and gentlemen. You can go here on your app data, roaming Microsoft user secrets, and then you have, that crazy string that gave you. So if you go here, you can actually search and take a look. So that's
Oh,
where you find everything on that.
okay, got it.
Excellent. So let's go back here, folks. So I gonna pass to debugging because I gonna not be honest, we are later than expected because we talked so much, right? And that's the thing. CLI is fun. I truly think it. So what is debug? So remember the order that that guy got. So we need a release, right, for the server, and it's just a line. So we need to discuss what debug and release means. So debug is basically while you're testing, basically, and release is considered like the final release version, like what you think is the correct way to program. So the CLI is the foundation of all debugging. So imagine that you have those top points you put on Visual Studio. Is the CLI. The CLI does a lot of things, and you can put even on the CLI a lot of those things. We have launch profiles. So imagine that you have different variables. Imagine that you have different user secrets. And you have something. So you can do launch profiles to pre-select, and everything is incredible integrated with Visual Studio Code as well. So with Visual Studio Code can do tons of this. Then you can even do something called task. Sorry, you can even do something called tasks.json. Tasks.json is incredible because with that we can add debug. And with that, we can actually write it down like, okay, on what profile should I do? So what endpoint points should I worry about? So it can actually put tons of stuff on how it actually builds your solution. And it may ask on how to do it, right? Guys, you're gonna not believe it. So our command, the command that that amazing girl got, remember? Our intern girl, she's also starting, she was doing a lot of things. She debugged some issues on the CLI, and it does. So it's simple. It's a .NET build dash configuration release. That's it. That is the command that she needed to run. Like that was the thing that they got asked. So then it's going to say, hey, that's a warning. Be careful of that. And then done. And let's take a look here on our Ben. So we have here debug, and that means and a little. There you go. Debug and release. So in debug, we have here we have here very basically very close, like it's not that far away, right? So configuration DLLs, this program debug database in the depth here. And if you go here to release right here at 9, you can see that's basically, very close to each other, right? Well, so the difference basically on how the build profiles are doing, on the type of things that they say, etc. But even see here are amazing EXE and the DLL as well. So with that, congratulations. She solved our problems. Now she is putting things on release and ready to go. Some last tips for the CLI. .NET info saves your life. Please take a look on our info on how you build it and how you construct it. Because info sometimes you don't know how to do things, and you can just do info flag for help dash h, and boom, you're gonna get a lot of information, and it helps you a lot. .NET test as well. So if you run a some tasks, you can do a new test actually during a new XUnit, right? XUnit test. But if you want to run the test only, you can just do .NET test and boom, it runs all the tests you need to. .NET clean, that's the thing we're gonna do right now. So, I did a lot of stuff today. Oh my god, I did so many stuff, so much stuff. So let's do some clean, .NET clean. Okay, now it got to clear some like strange formats, etc. It actually helped us a lot on some points here. So okay, no, I did not do the job. So what does it do? So let's see here on Hello World once again. Let's see our OBJ. You can see here our OBJ is almost the same here. It just helps us to like if you have like old versions, imagine that you have like .NET 8, etc. It helps us organize, right? We have tons of stuff here. But because it's a simple project, we don't need to run this. .NET new list, which um usually just helps us to do some of the templates. So imagine that I want to run like, okay, I did my console app, that was great, I love the console app, but I want to do a new thing, I want to do a new product. So .NET run, .NET new is the way that you create this with templates. And if you do list, you can see that we're gonna have like a lots of options. We can have WPF, we're gonna have WinForms, you're gonna have Razor, Unit, MVC, MS Build, Mac Catalyst, iOS. We're gonna have tons and tons and tons and tons of apps that you can actually test and run with just this. So you can actually run and take a look how you feel about it. And I have a challenge for you. So you have 6 days, right? So the next 6 days, install the .NET SDK, take a look about that version, create your first console app with the CLI, and then you get package. Take a look on .NET Watch while coding, set up user secrets, and create a new web API with .NET new web API. So then you're gonna have no worries about how to using the API. You're gonna see how easy it is, and you don't need to worry. Just use the CLI. Sometimes it's faster, easier, and it is a little bit relaxing. That's why I'm relaxed like that. And Hamna, before we go, do you have anything you want to add?
Yes, I think I'm now looking forward to doing this challenge because I just
Oh,
have a hands on with this, what I have learned today. And like you have shared a lot of, .NET, uh, .NET codes today. So I just have one question that if you like want to add or want to introduce a new .NET command, what would it be except from those?
you say a new CLI command, right?
Yes.
.NET restore. Okay, so sometimes what happens with packages is that because here it's not useful right now, right? But imagine they have a big project, and then the packages are colliding. Everything seems like it's not working anymore. Sometimes just do like .NET restore. Sometimes you need to do that and hope for the best. It's rarely needed to do. Like it's pretty rare. It's like package conflicts, things like that. But it's very useful because when you know it, you know it. You're just like, you know what? Do restore. Let's try it again.
Okay.
So that's a thing to have in your hand. And folks, tag us on the social media to if a progress. It is incredible and it's nice to know. If you want to learn more about .NET, take a look at the .NET. It's incredible. There's a lot of things to learn, classic tutorials that a lot of people took a look before, amazing things that you can build right now with Blazor, with AI, with web, with games. So learn more about .NET. It is amazing ecosystem. And if you're curious about AI, start with it. Go with for generative AI for beginners.net. It is incredible. We can learn some zero, like you know nothing about it until you learn tons and tons and tons about it. So please let take a look on generative AI for beginners for .net. You're gonna learn a lot with it, and you can integrate with websites, with apps, with mobile, with IoT, even with games as well. So take a look on generative AI for beginners.net. And while we're doing this, the .NET bot still is searching something. Let's hope that, ourselves from another time know what if he is finding the things he needs to find before coming back to the surface. Oh my God. Bless you, .NET bot. And folks, thank you once again for being here. Me, Hamna, we truly appreciate it. Hamna, any last words?
Yes, thank you so much, everyone, for joining today's session. And thank you so much, Pablo, for like explaining each and everything in detail. And I think if there are some beginners watching us, I'm pretty sure they'll be able to use .NET and use different .NET commands for their particular purposes. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you will build and what you will be doing in the 6 days challenge. And yep, that's it.
It is the same. I'm really excited to see what I'm gonna do in the 6 days challenge, folks.
Yep.
Anything you need me, you can find us on LinkedIn. You can find us at tons of places. Thank you so much. And back to you, Pablo.